I know what the parents feel like, okay? And you want justification. You want the guy behind bars. All of it's alleged that he even committed the murder.
Once a larger-than-life enforcer of justice, Dog the Bounty Hunter dominated reality TV with his fearless takedowns, signature look, and undeniable charisma. But behind the sunglasses and the mullet lies a shocking story filled with jaw-dropping twists, ruthless betrayals, staggering losses, and a fall from grace that no one saw coming. How did a once unstoppable force find himself on the brink of losing it all? What devastating event nearly broke him beyond repair? And what unexpected turn changed his path forever? From the highs of fame to the darkest moments of his life, this is the untold truth of Dog the Bounty Hunter. Stay tuned, because this story is wilder than any chase he's ever been on. Troubled beginnings. Dwayne "Dog" Chapman was born into a strict and often turbulent household. His father, a Navy welder turned bail bondsman, was known for his tough discipline, often resorting to physical punishment, which Dog initially believed was normal. His mother, a Sunday school teacher, tried to instill strong Christian values in her children, creating a stark contrast between the influences in his life. Despite describing his early years as pretty normal, Dog later admitted that his childhood was far more difficult than he had realized. His father, nicknamed Flash for his boxing skills, taught him how to fight at a young age, believing it would make him tougher. But all Dog truly wanted was his father's love and approval. At the age of 16, Dog decided to leave home and rebel against his strict upbringing by joining a motorcycle gang called the Devil's Disciples. The move was a drastic departure from the religious foundation set by his mother, but Dog embraced the rough and reckless lifestyle that came with being part of the gang. Although he was not particularly religious at the time, he still defended his faith fiercely. One incident in which he physically fought someone for insulting Jesus earned him the nickname Dog, a name given by a fellow biker who pointed out that it was God spelled backward. From that moment on, he fully embraced his new identity, marking the beginning of his journey into a world of rebellion and lawlessness. In the early part of the 1970s, Dog fell in love with his first wife, LaFonda Sue Darnell, and they tied the knot in 1972 after having two children, Dwayne Lee Chapman II and Leland Chapman, and having moved about before settling in Pampa, Texas. However, with the expansion of his family, the cracks in his personal life were becoming wider. He seemed to have a wild side and a penchant for keeping criminals company, which was taking him down a dark road characterized by one unfortunate event in 1976. While Dog waited outside in a car, his associate entered Jerry Oliver's residence. During a confrontation, Oliver was shot. Although Chapman was not inside during the incident, he was convicted under Texas law for first-degree execution, sentenced to 5 years, and served 18 months before being paroled. Hellish as it were in days gone by, that prison would prove to be a pivot for his life. He worked as a barber to the guards and, in a major turn of events, intervened in an attempt to stop an inmate from being shot during an escape attempt, thus winning great respect from the prison staff and an eventual recommendation from one guard that he become a bounty hunter. Financially strapped upon his release with huge child support liabilities and few options, Dog turned to bounty hunting for the chance at fame. At that time, he was just a man trying to rebuild his life. Despite the heartbreak of losing his family and the weight of his criminal past, prison became an unexpected turning point, one that not only shaped his future, but also set him on the path to redemption. First marriage and legal troubles. Dwayne "Dog" Chapman's first marriage was to LaFonda Sue Darnell, a woman he met while living in Denver. Their connection grew quickly, and in 1972, they tied the knot. The young couple started their life together, moving to different places before settling in Pampa, Texas, where LaFonda was originally from. During their marriage, they welcomed two sons, Dwayne Lee Chapman II and Leland Chapman. While their family life appeared stable on the surface, Dog's legal troubles and rough lifestyle were putting a strain on their relationship. His rebellious past and ties to criminal activity would soon lead to a devastating turning point that would change his life forever. Dog's marriage to LaFonda completely dissolved during Dog's time in prison. To LaFonda, the hardship of single-handedly raising two young sons coupled with the humiliation of having a husband in prison, was unbearable. By 1977, she filed for divorce, effectively putting an end to her marriage. Now, not only did LaFonda find someone else, but she also tried to eliminate Dog from the children's lives. After the divorce, she married best friend and gained custody of the two sons, thereby eliminating Dog from their lives. It was an excruciating blow because Dog was absolutely set on being that father to his children, but did not have the legal right to fight for custody at that time. Dog had somehow lost out on a happy family life, but then prison opened another door for him. During his time in prison, he worked as a barber. He earned much respect and admiration from the guards and the prison administration. One fateful incident boosted his admiration among the prison staff when he saved the life of an inmate during an escape attempt. It was then that one of the guards suggested to Dog that bounty hunting was the thing for him. They felt he had the right skill set and determination to pull it off. When he got out of prison, he was deep in child support debt and really needed to start over. So, with nowhere else to turn, he took the advice and headed into a life that would one day see him become the famed Dog the Bounty Hunter. Multiple marriages and family struggles. After his divorce from LaFonda, Dog Chapman quickly moved on and found himself in another complicated relationship. In 1977, at a biker party in Colorado, he met Ann Tegnell, and the two hit it off immediately. However, their relationship took an unexpected turn when Ann revealed she was only 17 years old. Fearing legal trouble, Dog made a rash decision and married her the very next day. Their marriage was far from ideal, as they barely knew each other at the time. Despite their rushed union, they had 3 children together: Zebediah, Wesley, and James. Tragically, their first child, Zebediah, passed away shortly after birth, adding immense strain to their relationship. The marriage continued to struggle, and by 1982, Dog and Ann divorced, leaving him once again without a stable family life. Following his second divorce, Dog faced another painful separation when he lost custody of his children with Ann. Determined to reconnect with his 2 eldest sons, Dwayne Lee and Leland, he moved to Colorado, where his journey took yet another unexpected turn. While at a bar, he met Lisa Ray Britton, a woman who would soon become his third wife. Their relationship started on a bold note. Dog reportedly offered Lisa money to have a child with him, and surprisingly, she agreed. The two got married and had 3 children together, but their marriage was built more on impulse than compatibility. Lisa preferred a quiet, secluded life, while Dog craved the excitement of fame and adventure. These fundamental differences eventually drove them apart, and in 1991, they divorced, marking another failed relationship in Dog's tumultuous personal life. But it was more than just this. Dog started with Tawny. While still married to Lisa, he came across Tawny, a little off-the-beaten-path woman. He had arrested her for drug possession in 1988. That was how they knew one another. He went on to his secretary between Tawny and Dog. That relationship became very fast. But when Tawny wanted Dog's commitment to her forever, at that time, Dog was quite not into a long-term relationship. All felt like a fish out of the water between them. After much pursuance, he finally threw all caution to the wind and married her. From the outset, it was not a smooth sail into their marriage. Tawny had had her experience in substance abuse, while on his part, Dog reveals that he is not a faithful husband. However, it all became much worse after the death of Dog's mother, because it shoved him into depression and spiraled his own troubles with addiction. Naturally, it did not take much time for this marriage to fall apart, thus adding yet another chapter of pyrotechnic instability to his personal life. In short, besides these relationships, Dog was wading through the pond of personal struggle and building his career in bounty hunting. His personal life had proved to be nothing but successful. Chaotic failed marriages separated from family ties and broken homes. But fate had one more episode that changed the course of his future personal life, the personal relationship that would eventually become the most extraordinary in his history on Earth. While married to Tawny, he also met Beth Smith, the woman who eventually would become the love of Dog's life, and the woman he credited for giving him his most important partner in bounty hunting. Their union became complex at the very beginning, but it went on to mold much of how Dog was perceived and gave the man the stability he had so long been searching for. The rise of Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog Chapman's rise to fame as a bounty hunter was anything but conventional. After serving time in prison and struggling with financial difficulties, he turned to bounty hunting as a way to make a living. With his tough demeanor, street smarts, and relentless determination, Dog quickly made a name for himself in the industry. His ability to track down fugitives, combined with his unique personality, set him apart from others in the business. However, his biggest breakthrough came in 2003, when he and his team successfully captured Andrew Luster, the heir to the Max Factor fortune, who had been convicted of multiple women. Luster had fled to Mexico to avoid justice, but Dog and his crew tracked him down, making international headlines in the process. Although the capture of Andrew Luster was a major victory, it also led to unexpected legal trouble for Dog. Because bounty hunting is illegal in Mexico, Dog, his son Leland, and his associate Tim Chapman were arrested by Mexican authorities for kidnapping charges. They were jailed briefly before being released on bail, but the incident caused a wave of controversy. Despite the legal challenges, the high-profile nature of the case made Dog a household name. His fearless attitude, coupled with his dedication to bringing fugitives to justice, caught the attention of television producers. Soon after, he was offered his own reality show, Dog the Bounty Hunter, which premiered on A&E in 2004 and became an instant hit. For almost a decade, Dog the Bounty Hunter followed Dog and his team, his wife, Beth, and his family as they hunted fugitives across the country. It is not only an action-packed chase series, but also one of the most emotional series seen on television. Dog often empathized with those people he arrested, pep-talking them into turning their lives around. Beth became a fan favorite for her no-nonsense attitude and ability to chase criminals in high heels. The family dynamic added more entertainment value to the show than just the bounty hunting. Just as Dog was riding the wave of success, an unexpected battle emerged, one that no amount of bounty hunting experience could prepare him for. Beth's battle with cancer. Beth Chapman's battle with cancer began in 2017 when she received a devastating diagnosis of throat cancer. She and Dog shared the news with their fans in an emotional letter, vowing to fight the disease with everything they had. Beth underwent surgery to remove a tumor, and for a brief moment, it seemed like she had won the battle. By November of that year, she was declared cancer-free, bringing hope to her family and supporters. However, despite the good news, Beth and Dog knew that their fight wasn't over. Cancer had changed their lives forever, and they remained vigilant, knowing that a relapse was always a possibility. Their worst fears came true in 2018 when Beth's cancer returned, this time spreading to her lungs. The prognosis was grim, but Beth refused to let the disease define her. She continued to live life on her own terms, even filming for their new show, Dogs Most Wanted, while undergoing treatment. Unlike before, she chose to forego chemotherapy, opting instead for alternative treatments and faith-based healing. Beth remained strong in front of the cameras, but behind the scenes, Dog struggled to come to terms with her declining health. He tried to keep her spirits up, constantly reassuring her that she would be okay, even as he feared the worst. Dog told it all to Dr. Oz in a heart-wrenching interview, explaining how he would consider taking his own life by doing that which he could not imagine life without Beth. Things went from bad to worse financially, with Beth's hospital bills and the maintenance of his huge family draining his savings. Added to the emotional trauma was an impending loss of home for Dog, thus adding to the weight of his grief. Beth's death was not just a thing that broke down the emotions of the dog. It also had harsh impacts on his physical health. Chest and breathing problems started to haunt him, which he later ascribed to heartbreak soon after Beth was buried. Finally, when the pain became unbearable, he visited doctors who found a life-threatening blot in his lungs, which was called pulmonary embolism. With the help of Dr. Oz, Dog started taking his health a little more seriously, quitting smoking and going through therapy to manage his grieving. Eventually, with strength, he did learn to move on, but Beth's death ended a new era in Dog's life. He now had to navigate a completely different world without the woman who was not only his partner in life, but also in bounty hunting. Life after Beth. After Beth's passing, Dog the Bounty Hunter found himself struggling to cope with the overwhelming grief. He had spent decades by her side, both in his personal life and in his career, and suddenly, he was left without his biggest supporter. In the months following her death, Dog opened up about his depression, admitting that he cried constantly and even considered taking his own life. His finances were also in crisis due to Beth's medical bills and the cost of supporting their large family. On top of everything, he faced serious health issues, including a life-threatening pulmonary embolism, which doctors warned could have slain him if left untreated. With the help of Dr. Oz, Dog started taking steps to improve his health, quitting smoking and undergoing therapy to manage his grief. Amid his personal struggles, Dog's love life quickly became a source of controversy. Just 7 months after Beth's passing, rumors began swirling that he was dating Moon Angel, a longtime family friend and former assistant. The news sparked outrage, particularly from his daughter Lissa, who took to social media to accuse Moon of being a homewrecker. The situation escalated further when Dog made a shocking move. He proposed to Moon on live television during an episode of the Dr. Oz show. Moon was visibly uncomfortable and rejected the proposal, later claiming that their relationship was purely platonic. Dog later explained that the proposal wasn't serious and was more of a test to gauge public reaction, but the incident left many fans disappointed and questioning his judgment. Despite swearing that he would never again tie the nuptial knot, Dog found love once more in the arms of Fran Francie, a woman who had also lost her husband to cancer just recently. Their relationship started when Dog, looking for work, reached out to Francie's late husband, only to learn he had died. Bonding over the grief that had brought them together, Dog and Francie seemed to become quite cozy, seeking comfort from each other. By May 2020, just months into the whole dating thing, Dog proposed, and the couple married in September 2021. While many of Dog's fans cheered him on in this new path he was taking, others felt he had moved on too quickly from Beth. The bond was defended by Dog, who claimed that Beth would have wanted him to seek happiness again, though he admitted that no one could ever truly fill her shoes. With a new marriage and a new philosophy on life, Dog now began to turn away from the bounty hunting and put aside the time for faith-based work. He took on a new alter ego, that of a Christian influencer who shared his journey with his followers and published a book, 9 Lives and Counting, chronicling his turnaround and coming into purpose. Legal and financial challenges. Dog the Bounty Hunter's legal troubles did not end with his early years in prison. Throughout his career, he found himself entangled in multiple legal battles that affected both his reputation and finances. One of the most notable incidents came in 2003 when he and his team captured fugitive Andrew Luster in Mexico. While the high-profile arrest made headlines, it also resulted in Dog's own arrest, as bounty hunting is illegal in Mexico. He was detained and later released on bail, but the case remained a cloud over his career. Years later, in 2021, another legal controversy emerged when Michael Donovan, the president of the streaming service Unleashed, sued Dog for allegedly making racist and homophobic remarks on set and using a taser illegally. Donovan claimed that Dog had engaged in inappropriate and unlawful behavior while filming his canceled show, Dog Unleashed. Dog's legal team dismissed the allegations, calling them retaliation for a failed business deal, but the damage to his reputation was already done. In addition to legal troubles, Dog also faced mounting financial struggles, many of which were worsened by Beth's cancer treatment and medical bills. He revealed that the costs of her treatments had drained much of their family's wealth, leaving him financially vulnerable after her passing. On top of that, Dog had to deal with the burden of supporting his large family, which included several children and grandchildren. His financial difficulties became even more apparent when reports surfaced that he was at risk of losing his home because he had fallen behind on mortgage payments. Dog later admitted in interviews that he was struggling to stay afloat financially, further complicating his efforts to move forward after Beth's death. The major tax debt that he has accrued has caused him most of the serious financial setbacks. It has been alleged that he owes up to $1.6 million in unpaid taxes across several states, such as Colorado and Hawaii, in unpaid taxes by 2022. Unpaid taxes bring him to hard decisions such as selling his mansion in Colorado, the house bought with Beth 13 years ago. It was sold for about $1.59 million, almost double the original price of $750,000. It may be the most painful way to ease just an ounce of his financial burden since the sale last year, but it is still a painful reminder of what he has gone through in the years following Beth's death. Its financial windfall did not end all of Dog's lingering problems with money, because by that time, his career as a bounty hunter and reality TV star had slowed down quite a bit. While Dog was drawing up plans to try to get his life back on track financially, he was also rebranding himself as this new public image of himself, introducing to the world the new phase of his life, one as a Christian influencer. He has written a title called 9 Lives and Counting, and made appearances at religious conventions where he narrates the story of his redemption. However, even this has undercurrent controversy. He made unfavorable headlines in 2023 with accusations of talking trash about the transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney during an event by a televangelist. For that, once more, he was in the news for the wrong reasons. Although Dog has never been one to walk away from a fight, it's pretty clear that his road hasn't been an easy one because of the legal and financial troubles that he is currently facing. Whether he recuperates completely from them remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Dog the Bounty Hunter is a very polarizing character, living a life rife with successes as well as failures. Controversies and career setbacks. Dog the Bounty Hunter's larger-than-life personality and no-nonsense approach made him a reality TV star, but they also landed him in several controversies that affected his career. One of the most damaging incidents occurred in 2007 when a private phone call between Dog and his son was leaked to the public. In the recording, Dog used a racial slur while expressing concern that his son's relationship with a black woman could hurt his career. The National Enquirer published the call, sparking immediate backlash. A&E swiftly put Dog the Bounty Hunter on hold while they investigated the situation. Realizing the gravity of his mistake, Dog publicly apologized multiple times, stating that he never meant to be racist and vowing to change his ways. His emotional apology on CNN helped convince the network to reinstate the show, but the scandal permanently tainted his reputation. Despite overcoming that setback, Dog's career faced another major blow when A&E abruptly canceled Dog the Bounty Hunter in 2012, even though the show was still popular with viewers. Though no official reason was given, rumors circulated that the network wanted to move in a different direction. Determined to stay relevant, Dog and Beth launched a new series, Dog and Beth on the Hunt, on CMT, which followed them as they helped struggling bail bond agencies capture fugitives. The show found moderate success, but new challenges emerged as the bail bond industry itself faced legal restrictions that made bounty hunting more difficult. Dog and Beth put the show on hold in an effort to fight for the profession they loved, but the industry changes made it clear that their careers would never be the same. More accusations were thrown his way as Dog was trying to gather his thoughts. Dog Unleashed, his most recent television endeavor, was shut down in 2021 before ever airing when Michael Donovan, the head of the streaming service Unleashed, accused him of making racist and homophobic comments on set and of using a taser illegally because of his criminal past. Dog firmly denied the charges and claimed they were retaliation for a failed business deal. The accusations resulted in lawsuits and added further stain to his already battered reputation. At the same time, this bigger indignity was through Dylan Mulvaney's mouth. He made derogatory remarks at a televangelist gathering, further pouring coals onto the fire. Dog, indeed resilient in all senses, continues to try for a new life, this time as a Christian influencer, albeit an entire Reformation-riddled life. Reinventing himself, the Christian outlaw. After decades of chasing fugitives and living a wild, controversial life, Dog the Bounty Hunter has shifted his focus toward faith and redemption. In recent years, he has embraced a new identity as a Christian influencer, describing himself as a Christian outlaw, someone who still embodies the tough guy persona of a bounty hunter, but is now driven by a mission to save souls rather than capture criminals. He has spoken openly about how his personal struggles, including his time in prison, the loss of Beth, and his own near-death experience with a pulmonary embolism, led him to deepen his faith. In interviews, Dog has claimed that his transformation is part of God's plan, and he now sees his purpose as spreading the message of salvation to others who have walked a troubled path. As part of his reinvention, Dog released a book titled 9 Lives and Counting, where he reflects on his journey from outlaw to evangelist. In the book, he shares stories of his past mistakes, his battle with grief, and how he believes God has guided him through his darkest moments. He has also become more involved in the Christian community, making appearances at religious conferences and partnering with televangelists to preach about redemption. However, Dog has made it clear that he hasn't entirely abandoned his old ways. He still maintains his tough, no-nonsense demeanor and continues to use his platform to discuss crime and justice, often drawing comparisons between capturing fugitives and bringing people back to faith. A new beginning was deserved by Dog, but controversies would never withdraw. In 2023, the Dog was suddenly battered by debates over pronouncing anti-LGBTQ remarks in a public diorama with a televangelist. His remarks included those that willfully misgendered transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, and threatening statements, all of these marked by severe public condemnation, could not keep the conversations alive about his often fiery disposition. Supporters claimed that he did offer an argument and was standing for what he believed in, whereas, to others, this was just another incident labeled as evidence that Dog was never able to dissociate from controversy. Under that shadow, the allegations of racism and homophobia have made it tough for Dog to land in this role of faith leader with minimal prying eyes. Love him or hate him, Dog the Bounty Hunter's impact is undeniable. But how will history remember him? Legacy of Dog the Bounty Hunter. Dog the Bounty Hunter's legacy is one of resilience, controversy, and an undeniable impact on reality television. His rise from a troubled past to becoming one of the most recognizable bounty hunters in the world is a testament to his perseverance. With his signature long blonde hair, ever-present sunglasses, and tough but compassionate demeanor, Dog became a cultural icon. His reality show, Dog the Bounty Hunter, introduced millions of viewers to the world of bounty hunting, showing the intense chases, emotional arrests, and second chances he offered to fugitives. Unlike many crime-based reality shows, Dog the Bounty Hunter stood out for its mix of action and personal redemption, making Dog a beloved yet polarizing figure. Beyond television, Dog's influence extended to shaping public perceptions of bounty hunting. Before his rise to fame, the profession was largely misunderstood, often seen as a shady or dangerous line of work. Through his show, Dog humanized bounty hunters, showing them not just as tough enforcers, but also as individuals who could offer fugitives a chance to turn their lives around. His signature pre-arrest pep talks, in which he urged criminals to make better choices, became a hallmark of his career. However, his criminal record meant that he was never legally allowed to arrest anyone in the U.S., an irony that critics often pointed out. Despite this, Dog built a brand that made him the face of modern bounty hunting, proving that his reputation alone was enough to command respect in his field. And that's the incredible story of Dog the Bounty Hunter, full of highs, lows, and unforgettable moments. What do you think about his journey? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you want more deep dives like this, check out the next video on the screen. We've got plenty more amazing stories coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.